It's been 2 decades since the global ivory trade was banned, yet there are new fears that legal poaching is becoming more rampant due to the increased involvement of organised crime cartels. Between 2008 and 2009, the volume of illegal ivory seized doubled, and observers say that's just the tip of the iceberg. Most of it comes from Africa, with China the main destination. On the ground, animal conservationists are risking their lives to protect the elephants. Sam Farmer travelled to Africa to witness the poaching firsthand, and a warning: viewers may find some of the following images disturbing.
This baby elephant lived for only a month. It died of dehydration after poachers killed its mother, keen to exploit one of Africa's most lucrative commodities, ivory. In the last year, the international price has jumped to more than $1,000 a kilo, prompting an unprecedented wave of poaching across the continent. With a pair of tusks weighing up to 50 kilos, each elephant represents a fortune, a temptation for many too great to ignore. Less than a mile away, a giant bull elephant lies in a pool of maggots. He's just one of 37,000 African elephants slaughtered for their tusks each year. 2 decades ago, trading ivory was banned worldwide. But last year the law was relaxed, allowing government stockpiles to be sold off. Dr. Esmond Bradley Martin has been monitoring the illegal ivory trade for the past 30 years.
There's probably more ivory going illegally to China than any other country in the world. I think there's a link between the number of Chinese that have come into Africa recently and elephant ivory purchasing. For instance, I think around 2000, 2001, there was something like 75,000 Chinese working in Africa. Now the figure is well over 500,000. And we know that Chinese are being caught all over Africa. And in Kenya, they've been caught coming into the country with ivory from the Congo, from Cameroon. Those are the recent ones. The Chinese have been carving ivory for over 7,000 years. But until recently, only the wealthier people could buy it. But now the middle class has risen up in China, and there's a much greater demand now.
In what has been described by many as the new colonialism, and in defiance of the global recession, China's annual trade with Africa has soared to more than $100 billion, a figure that is expected to grow by a further 80% next year.
If you look at all the poaching incidences taking place in East Africa, it's where the Chinese are present. The northern part of Kenya, the Savo area, the Amboseli area, this is where the Chinese have been grading roads, constructing roads.
The truth is, 50% of ivory poaching in Kenya takes place within a 20-mile radius of Chinese road-building projects. Yet the Kenyan Wildlife Service, a government body that aspires to be a world leader in wildlife protection, seems hesitant to point the finger at the Chinese, one of the country's primary international investors.
Several Chinese nationals have been arrested with the ivory, and at this moment I don't want to categorically say that they're involved, but once we are through, once we crack the cartel, we'll now be able to tell you who actually is responsible for the buying of the ivory. KWS, in conjunction with the Tanzania Wildlife Authorities, to some extent we are in control.
But that's not the view held by many of the conservation groups that feel they have little choice but to protect what elephants they have, and are now upgrading their own private patrols and preparing to respond in force. This is one of Kenya's most effective private anti-poaching units, a 70-strong, heavily armed team with a mandate of protecting 100,000 acres in Laikipia district of northern Kenya. They're on high alert after losing 52 elephants in the last 2 years and are responding to a tip-off that an elephant poacher is operating nearby.
Everyone outside the Conservancy has a weapon, everybody. And so they are now starting to bring the weapons inside the Conservancy. It is very risky because these people will shoot. They will shoot without asking any questions. So we've had a plane shot at, 2 poachers were shot. So these people are armed, and very well armed. G3s, AK-47s, because the price of ivory is 12,000 shillings a kg, and therefore everyone's going to chance their luck.
Nelson Mutonga was orphaned as a young boy and started poaching soon afterwards. Last month he was caught red-handed after killing an elephant and a rhino, but was offered a pardon in exchange for intelligence into the ivory smuggling underworld and becoming a member of a private anti-poaching unit. He describes how he killed the elephants.
I took a bow and arrow and dipped the head of the arrow in a very strong poison. I then shot at the elephant's ribcage, close to its lungs. It dies within a few minutes.
He then sells the ivory to a local broker, who passes it on to a Chinese trader in Mombasa. 134 Chinese nationals have been arrested in Africa, trying to smuggle illegal ivory back home. And in the last decade, there have been 426 cases of ivory seized en route to China. This haul is the largest ever discovered on Kenyan soil, 703 kilos. It was found in a car driven by these two men and owned by an ex-Kenyan member of parliament. The parliamentary car pass is still intact on the windscreen. The ex-MP has denied it's his car, despite vehicle registration documents proving his ownership. The drivers were forced to pay a fine of $250, which stands as a small deterrent. If poaching continues at current levels, experts predict the extinction of elephants across most of sub-Saharan Africa within the next 15 years.